Austin, Texas is home to 500,000 millennials. Within that are 150,000 teens and 350,000 young adults, each one an individual with their own struggles, passions, and gifts. They each have stories to tell, but who will hear them? Over 40% of these teens and young adults come from fatherless homes, either abandoned or just not given the time of day to be heard, loved, or even known. What will they do? What will they turn to with less than 7% attending church and less than 3% having mentors? Who will hear them?
I grew up with a good family. I'm from California originally. My parents loved me, they took care of me, they taught me good morals and values. But probably about mid-teenage years, I started rebelling against them. I didn't want anything to do with taking care of other people or giving back to society. My world was about this big. I only cared about myself, my drugs, my alcohol, and partying. I didn't care about anybody else. There was times where I would get blackout drunk every weekend. I would party with guys years older than me because they made me feel valued and appreciated. They gave me that sense of desire and of love. For a long time, I was living in a really dark place.
So as a kid growing up, I went through a lot of crazy things, between having to raise my sisters because my parents were never around, or my parents getting divorced and having to move around, I think it was like 21 times, or doing drugs and drinking and going to parties and being suicidal. I think a lot of it started when I was 13. I was always at home making sure my sisters were taken care of, and so it was a lot to handle as a middle schooler and someone who has no idea what being a parent is. I ended up smoking and drinking and going to parties and hanging out with people I shouldn't have hung out with, and it just led to one thing after another, and the suicidal thoughts started coming. I just was thinking of what ways I could kill myself, what ways I could take care of my sisters, and it never really worked.
Catalyst gives me an opportunity to pour into the lives of the younger generation. I get to impact them in a way I wish somebody would have impacted me. I'm so excited to be able to continue volunteering with them when I can because I support what they believe in. I think that the younger generation is our future and we need to be teaching them the right way to go. I love working with Catalyst because it gives a lot of purpose to my life again. I love that volunteering for a few hours a week, and maybe even sometimes more, that I'm able to mentor these young girls and teach them about life and lessons that I had to learn the hard way.
The first time I went to Catalyst, I went with my friend Kelsey, and I went, and there was something about it that I just like kept going back, and they were welcoming and they wanted to be like my friend. And coming from a childhood where I didn't have that, I didn't know what that was, it was like, whoa, like why are you talking to me? Like, what is this? It wasn't that long into me going to Catalyst that Joe Elliott had been telling me about a trip to the Dream Center in California. That was the first like big step for me with Catalyst, and I remember starting the drive to go there, and it was like I was in the van with all these people and they were all crazy and so fun. Like within minutes of the drive, they all were like talking to me and being my friend. After we got back from California, I felt like I had made friends for like a lifetime. I'm so much more involved in Catalyst since that. I have a club at McNeil High School that I've started. It's called the Catalyst Club. I get to help greet people every Wednesday. It's really nice to see new faces, and since I can feel like what they felt like, it's cool to be like, hey, I know where you've been. I was there, and now I'm gonna get you out of that spot. And so that's why I really like Catalyst.
But what if there was a place for these millennials? A place that could be heard, mentored? What if we could take these stories, these gifts, these passions, and encourage them, challenge them? Be a part of something bigger than themselves that could be a catalyst in changing their lives, their communities, their city, the world around them. What if? What if we were a part of a movement that didn't just work with teens, but led teens, helping them discover who they were meant to be in unique ways, connecting them to identity, purpose, passion, showing them who they were intentionally designed to be. What if we heard them?